Hi, I am Megara, an English teacher at Untitled New Generation School. Today I'm going to bring you to a lesson which is about Unit 3, Strength but True. In this lesson also you will learn writing a description of an accident. So at the end of this lesson, you will be able to write a description of an accident through the modal text. And number 2, you will be able to use expression suddenly, manual, and then by writing your paragraph. So before we get started directly to the lesson, I want you to think about the previous lesson and the previous video. What did you learn last session and what did you learn last video? So last session, you learned about present and past tenses, right? You learned about the forms, uses, and the comparisons of 4 tenses: present simple, present continuous, past simple, and past continuous, right? So have you all understood some of them clearly? If not, you go to watch my video again and do more practice and exercises. Especially last time you got a homework, right? Don't forget homework. Let's check homework with me now. Whether you have done something correctly, you may make some mistake, so you have to go to the video and watch it again. Right, let's go to our homework. 1. Complete the text with the correct form of the verb in the predicate. We have predicate again. Last video also we talk about predicate, and here we talk about predicate. So you have to use the verb in the predicate to complete the spaces provided in the example. Last summer, I blah blah stay in the little house by the sea when something very strange blah 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 happened. So there are 2 spaces here, stay and happen. So you have to look at the keyword last summer. When you see last summer, it means they talk about the past. So I think you have only used past simple and past continuous. But which one is past simple and which one is past continuous? Let's go. When something very strange in the last session, we have already talked about when and while. When we use before past simple and while we use before past continuous. So that means here, number 1, I was staying in my little house by the sea when suddenly a very strange happened. Number 1 past continuous and number 2 past simple. Right? Let's move to the next. I blah 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 watched the sunset when suddenly a voice of about 10 blah blah appeared from the nowhere. So nowhere, it means we don't know where they're from. So you have to see again when suddenly. So like I said again and again, when before past simple and while before past continuous. That means number 3, I was watching the sunset when suddenly the boy of about 10 appeared, past simple, from nowhere. Number 5, he blah 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 hold a big white towel and his hair was wet. You see, they talk about the boys who's coming from, but they want to talk about the action he was doing. Mean he was holding a big white towel and his hair was wet. Number 6, I noticed a chain around his neck with the letter C on it. Right, you see, when they talk about the actions of the boy he was doing, and then the other people notice, not was noticing. Notice, it means past simple. I noticed a chain around his neck with the letter C on it. And then the boy, he said, my sister gave me swam out to the burn islands. Now she blah 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 tried to swim back. You see, now she. Can you see the expression of present continuous now? Right. Now it means they talk about present continuous. So now she is trying to swim back, but the current is very strong. She is, and the sentence is connected, parallel. So we use both number 7 and number 8 present continuous. That means she is drowning now. Okay, that's it. So let's check with your work and the video. Have you done all correct or made some mistake? If made some mistake, again, please go to watch I will last video again, right? Thank you. Don't waste the time. I want you to go to the new video, the new lesson today, and you will see a picture. So what can you see in this picture? Can anyone tell me the picture about? In this picture, there is a car and trees. The tree is falling into the road, and the car try into the tree. So try into the tree. As you can see my action, the tree fell into the road and the car try into the tree or hit the tree. So it means it's called accident. So the title of our lesson today is writing about a description of an accident. And before we start writing, I want you to understand and I want you to read the article, the type, which is a modal type, and consider whether how many paragraph and what they talking in first paragraph, second paragraph, and the last paragraph, right? And before reading the modal text, I want you to look at the picture and tell me some important words that can make you understand the text well. So pictures number 1, you see? Can you tell me what is it? And so picture number 1 is we say terrible storm. You know terrible storm? Terrible storm, it means extremely bad and strong wind and rain. You know wind and rain? So wind and rain together cause a terrible storm. And picture number 2. Do you see a tree and then like this? So the tree fell down into, right? The tree fell down, you see? The tree fell down. So when first the tree stand and then when they got a terrible storm, the tree fell down. So I hope you all understand the fell down mean go down quickly onto the ground. And picture, you see the car try into the tree. So it means the car try and hit the tree, right? Become accident. Try into, it means to hit or to enter a particular place, cause an accident. And look at the 4th picture. You see the picture is a part of the tree. So what do we call it in English? We call tree branch. It means it's a part of the tree. For example, this one is the trunk. You know trunk of the tree. And this one is the tree branch. They from the trunk of the tree. So I think when you see the picture, you may understand the meanings of the word well. Last word is about conscious. You know conscious? Conscious, it means after someone getting accident, some unconscious, you know unconscious, and some conscious. So unconscious, it means after getting accident, you don't know anything. You don't know people talking around you, you don't know anywhere, right? But conscious, after getting accident, you still know everything, everyone around you, and you still hear something and seeing something, so conscious. So I hope you all understand the 4 words at least, and remember it again and again until you can use it well in your daily life. So don't waste the time. I'd like you to go to the type with me, and please read slowly, and you can pause the video to read slowly and find out the meanings of each paragraph. Let's start. Last Saturday evening, I was walking into the town with my friend Jenny. It was raining really hard because there was a terrible storm. It was a bit frightening and we were thinking about going back home. You see, the first paragraph just introduced what was happening. Second paragraph, suddenly there was a loud noise and a big tree branch fell down onto the road. We were trying to move the branch when the car appeared. The driver wasn't driving very fast, but he didn't see the branch and he dropped into it. I ran to the car, looked inside. The driver wasn't conscious and there was blood on his head. Meanwhile, Jenny called an ambulance. So in the second paragraph, you see, they talk about the event, the action, the main action and the main events of the accident, right? I hope you all understand, and if you still do not understand, please stop it and read it slowly to find out what is the first paragraph talking about and what is the second paragraph talking about. And the last paragraph, Jenny called an ambulance. Last paragraph, an ambulance arrived quite quick and took the man to the hospital. Then a reporter arrived when we were leaving, so we told her about the accident. The next day our story was in the newspaper. It was really exciting. You see, this is the end of the paragraph of a description of an accident. So you see, they stop, they conclude, they finally finish their paragraph by providing the information about how they stop the paragraph. They have to report to the writer, and the writer released the newspaper with them. Alright, so I hope you get so far with the writing of an accident. And also, in this writing text, I want you to understand 3 other words that is very important for your writing, and you can make it to introduce your idea or connecting your idea together. Number 1, suddenly. What does it mean, suddenly? It is about the idea happening unexpectedly. For example, I said, while I was traveling along the roads, suddenly other car crashed. So other car crash, it means the interrupt, and the action other car crash is happening unexpectedly, unknowingly. So we don't know what happened to the car, but in front of our traveling, we saw a car crash. Have you got it? Right. So next word, I want you to understand meanwhile. So what does it mean when meanwhile? Meanwhile, it means at the same time. You know, at the same time? For example, in a sentence, I was doing my exercise last night. My sister was watching TV. You see, 2 ideas happen the same time. So you can use meanwhile in the middle of a sentence, like I was doing my exercise last night. Meanwhile, my sister was watching TV. Meanwhile, it means at the same time my sister was watching movie or TV. Last word, then. So you know then? Then it means next. For example, I make a video, then I post it into the group. Or I make the video, next I post into the group. So next and then quote in the same, right? You can use then and you can use next to represent order, first, second, and next. So when you are writing, I hope you can include all the 3 words into your writing, so that your writing sound logically and the reader read your word fluently. So if you understand the three words, I want you to practice with me a little bit. Look at the exercise number 1. Complete the sentences with meanwhile, suddenly, and then. Alright, number 1. The visual climbed down to the boy, blah blah blah. They took him to the helicopter. So you see, the action is the same or different. So 1, 2, or the same thing happened at the same time. Right, so I think here is 1, 2. So it means the rickshaw climbed down to the boy, then they took him to the helicopter. Right, so the number 1 is that. And number 2, we were walking through the jungle, blah blah blah, we saw a tiger. So you see, we were walking through the jungle, forest, blah blah blah, we saw a tiger. So what do you use here? Meanwhile, then, or suddenly? The best word is suddenly, right? Because when you were doing something, suddenly you saw a tiger. Right. Number 3, I start making a fire, blah blah, my friend look for more wood. You see, making fire, and then friend look for more wood. The same or different? First, second. So number 3 is the same, right? So the correct word used is meanwhile. And number 4, I was looking at the river, blah blah blah. I heard a voice out, teach, have. You see, when you were sitting and then you heard a noise. So that is mean you should use suddenly. Suddenly you heard a noise. Number 5, Tom was walking back to the camp, blah blah blah. His friend was looking for him. Right, so the same or different? So I think it is the same, right? Because Tom was walking to the camp and the other friend just find Tom, right? So the correct word should be meanwhile. Tom was walking back to the camp. Meanwhile, his friend was looking for him. Right? Have you got some idea? If you are not sure, please move back and watch this video again and again so that you can understand what are the uses of the three words. Right, now let's writing. Start writing together your work. But before writing, I want you to understand how do you prepare and what are the steps of writing. Go. Writing procedure. Look at it. So number one, you have to plan your writing. What is your plan? You have to think about one accident you have ever made. One accident. And step two, you have to organize and write into 3 paragraphs. Just organize and write it into 3 paragraphs. And number 3, you have to check your spelling, grammar, and the use of suddenly, manual, and then. And last one, you have to write final into your notebook or your paper. Alright, I hope you all get the point about the procedures of writing and use of suddenly, manual, and then. Right, let's start with our sample here. I just give you and then give you homework. Alright, so let's read the sample with me, and I hope you can read this sample with the modal tag in the previous slide, in the previous screen. You combine together and make more understanding. Right, a car accident. Last Saturday I saw an accident. It was still fresh in my mind. A child was driving across the road. A car came from the opposite direction. The driver tried to save the child. Suddenly, the bus coming from the opposite direction ran into the car. The drivers of the bus had only minor injuries. Meanwhile, the car driver was seriously injured. Then the people gathered there. Some passengers of the bus also got light injuries. Some of them were bleeding profusely. Meanwhile, some injured people were sent to the hospital and given first aid. Some called the police. Suddenly, the police arrived. Some passengers went to inform the police seriously about the accident. The police were working. Meanwhile, the bus driver was running to escape the police. Then, people around there caught him and sent to the police. The bus driver was arrested. Last paragraph. It was a very bad accident. I am not able to forget it for a long time because it quite happened in front of me. When I arrived home, I told my parents about the accident. You see, at first paragraph, I just want to introduce what happened and what happened in my writing. Talk about a car accident because of why they got an accident, because of they try to avoid to escape the boy across the road. And suddenly they call the police, and at the end of the paragraph, I also tell the reader what I finished my paragraph. It means I finished my paragraph by giving what is my opinion. Right. So I hope you all understand and get the procedures of writing and understand some part of our writing. If you get that, I want you to look at your homework here. Write 3 paragraphs about an accident you have ever made. So you can talk about car accident, you can talk about your motor accident or whatever the accident you have ever made. Alright, I hope you all enjoy this video and try to learn from this video. If you don't understand or you have any question, just give me a comment or question below the video. So that's all for this video, and thank you for your watching and spend time for listening and participating in the video. Goodbye, good luck.